What's up everybody, Dane Jackson here, and in this video I'm going to be walking through Werner Paddle's newest design, the Stealth. Yes, to clarify, I am sponsored by Werner Paddles, and in this video I'm going to be going through all the amazing things that I'm fired up on this paddle for. To give a little context on my involvement with the design process of this paddle, it's a little over a year and a half ago I told them what I felt like was missing in the current market, the flaws and benefits with our designs, other designs, and ways that I felt like we could improve, and then in the end the type of paddle that I really felt like we needed at this moment. To me, it always felt like you were choosing between one of two options. You could either choose a newer, modern design, but either had some drawbacks or just not as strong as it could be. Or you could use the strongest, most bomber paddle, but it didn't have the modern design you enjoy most of the time when you're paddling. So it always felt like you were choosing one or the other, and in the end, I wanted a one-and-done paddle that gave me everything I was looking for in terms of modern design, but also confidence in its strength. But also, I wanted to make sure that it didn't matter if you were on the hardest whitewater or just a joy lap, that the paddle handled and was in much control as you would look for. So with all these things in mind, I really could not be more fired up on where this paddle ended up. I truly feel like this is a one-and-done paddle that I'm going to be able to take on all types of whitewater, no matter what type of kayaking I'm doing. But the one thing I really wanted to focus on was the shape of the blade, because I had a really good sense in my mind of what I felt like we needed to do. And I was super fired up that they were opening to listening to what I had to say. So let's dive into the design. Let's start with one of the main factors and where my biggest input came in, and that is the shape of the blade. I wanted to make sure it stayed nice and narrow here, so that way when you're taking those vertical forward strokes, there wasn't any blade in the way that's going to be hitting the boat when you're trying to get your paddle nice and vertical. But then the width of the blade gets really nice through the middle, but the most important thing is that I actually carried that width out towards the end of the blade. And the reason I really wanted to carry that width out towards the end of the blade is so that way it doesn't matter whether you're taking a forward stroke or reaching way out for a sweep stroke or a correction, you have a lot of bite even at the end of the blade, so that way you don't have to get the full paddle in the water in order to get the most out of the power. This is a full-size downriver race-inspired blade shape for maximum power on all types of whitewater. With an increased blade to shaft offset, this blade forward design gives a more powerful catch and more verticality through the power phase of the stroke. We made sure the second half of the blade stayed nice and flat. And the reason for that, by having the second half of the blade nice and straight, means that when you're doing things like feathering, whether just feathering next to the boat, feathering up to the surface, or just keeping your paddle in the water in any type of whitewater, the paddle won't want to dive on you. It really allows for the easiest time possible when it comes to feathering, which is so nice in all types of whitewater. Just really helps to make sure that whatever you're doing, slicing the paddle through the water, that you have utmost control. Next, we did keep some foam core through the middle of the blade just for maximum strength, but we made sure there's still enough flat surface area at the tip of the blade to make sure that you still have all the power you need whenever doing any type of backstrokes. Whether it's for stern squirts, surfing out of features, corrections, you still have all that power that you want out of a backstroke. Which in the end is so nice because in any type of whitewater you have the full power forward paddling and back paddling. On the power face side, we gave it a really nice flat surface area, meaning that you have the ultimate bite when reaching that paddle in the water. Doesn't matter if you're forward stroking, sweeping, you have a ton of power with this paddle. Another new addition for this year is the blade is inserted into the shaft for a seamless look and feel. Still have a nice structure here for strength, as well as a little ridge here that just helps give you confidence that this blade is going to be strong. Then lastly, one of the big things you will notice is that this is a carbon blade rather than the full foam core similar to the Odachi or Shogun. This resembled itself more to the Powerhouse. When I got that first prototype, it did take me by surprise a little as well, but then hearing them explain to me the benefits behind it and the reason why they have it made me understand why that was the best choice for this paddle. We really optimized materials and manufacturing technique to obtain lower weight, remain strong, and provide a comfortable flex, which gives you less fatigue on your body overall for the longer races as well as longer days on the water. So whether it's waterfalls, creaking, smashing rocks, whatever it may be, it can take a lot more abuse on the rock. It also allows it to have a very sleek edge, just makes it feel really smooth and effortless going in and out of the water, as well as the feathering. In the end, it's giving me all I want when it comes to power, control, confidence, but it is also a super light paddle, which makes it so nice no matter what you're doing. Though there is one aspect of this layup, and that is these blades will wear down over time. So for me, this is the ultimate one and done paddle. For forward strokes, it has all the power I'm looking for. It feels really nice and stable and smooth when taking forward strokes. It also has all that power even when I'm not doing forward strokes, whether it's sweep strokes, sweep boops, corrections, all of that. It has all that power on the back face for backstrokes, stern squirts, kick flips, surfing out of features to help with that confidence. It feathers in and out of the water super smoothly, whether for just feathering for booth strokes, draws, or just feathering up to the surface. Even if you're in the most boily whitewater, this paddle is super easy to feather up. Racing, creeking, big water, waterfalls, half slicing, it doesn't matter. I will be using this paddle for everything. Another exciting thing about this paddle is it will be coming in 2 sizes. This is the Stealth, which is the size that I will be using, and then the Covert is the smaller size for smaller paddlers that are looking for this design. In the end, I cannot begin to describe how fired up I am on this paddle. Said it numerous times, I'll say it again. This is the one and done paddle for everything that I have been waiting for. I am so fired up with how this thing came out. And no matter what type of whitewater you're on, I think you're going to love it as well. So get your hands on one, you're not going to regret it. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll catch you guys on the water.